A group of Buckhead residents want to break away from the city of Atlanta, citing a surge in crime. All new tonight, we're taking a deeper dive into that plan as a viable solution. Liza Lucas is breaking down the data and both sides of the debate.
Good job. Come on.
During the day, Casey Santorelli has no problem walking her dogs outside her home.
Good girl.
At night, that's a different story.
I will walk them right outside my apartment and then I'll run right back in because I don't feel safe walking around.
Just over a year ago, Casey escaped pandemic lockdown in New York City for a new start in Buckhead, only to find herself stuck in another sort of confinement.
So this building, there was actually a shooting on 4th of July. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. Everyone told me Buckhead was great and it was the place to move in Atlanta.
Police are investigating the shooting death of a man in Buckhead.
Slowly, the crime started to get really bad. I will not go out past 9 o'clock every night.
Casey now considering moving again. Others living on her corner also planning to move.
It's unnerving. It's scary. It's definitely, not the Buckhead that I remember when I moved to Atlanta 17 years ago.
Bill White is CEO and chairman of Buckhead City Committee, the group pushing to create its own city, frustrated with what they say is a lack of leadership and a spike in crime.
One of the reasons we believe that crime is very high in Buckhead, there is a lack of love and appreciation for our police. The Atlanta Police Department is completely demoralized.
White says a Buckhead City would bolster its own police force and tackle crime through increased officer presence.
The minimum for a short period of time in Buckhead City would be 250 police officers. So you're going to see a police officer at every major place.
But Atlanta's mayor and opposition groups are pushing back, as is criminologist Volkan Topali, who recently became a crime victim himself, now scarred from the surgery needed to remove a bullet from his arm.
I was one of the 3 people that were shot at the Home Depot and Lindbergh Station parking lot a couple months ago, and it was truly the wrong place at the wrong time.
Getting shot hasn't swayed Topali's stance on the current crime wave, an increase he says criminologists predicted.
We have unprecedented events taking place right now and over the past couple of years. We've had the Black Lives Matter police accountability movement, plus we've had the pandemic and the end of social distancing coming together. Those are 2 things we've never dealt with before, much less at the same time.
Topali, who studies crime trends, anticipates crime could drop in the fall, but the Buckhead City Committee has no plans to wait. The group cites neighboring Sandy Springs and Brookhaven as examples of controlling their own tax dollars. Both also control their own police departments, yet none are immune to crime. To compare, we looked at crime rates per 100,000 people. Violent crimes increased in Sandy Springs after cityhood in 2007. Brookhaven faced a similar situation after 2013. In breaking down the number of murders, rapes, robberies, and assaults, we noticed crime trends in newly formed cities often mirror Atlanta, while experts question cityhood as a strategy for curbing crime.
So many things account for why you have crime at any given time, in particular types of crime. Even if you created a new city and you saw that crime was going down, I bet you would also see that crime was going down in other areas not very far from that particular new city.
We reached out to Brookhaven and Sandy Springs police about crime trends. Brookhaven says part of the, quote, perceived increase is due to better reporting. They also point out the recent uptick parallels the shutdown of courts during the pandemic. Now, this is a complex issue, and we have got much more on our story on 11alive.com.
All new tonight, the Atlanta Police Department has put out a statement about the Buckhead cityhood movement. The department wrote in part, regardless of where their enforcement activity occurs, it has an impact on crime throughout the entire city, Buckhead included. The Post also said the city is stronger when everyone works together. You can read that full post on 11alive.com.